Florence Scovel described the game of life as a game of boomerangs in the 5th chapter of her book. This goes after the law of karma, or in Sanskrit, comeback, that states, whatever man gives, he will also receive. In the Bible, the same principle is also shown in the form of the verse, you reap what you sow. Whether it's in the form of thoughts, words, or action, it will return to you eventually. One example is the girl who noticed how the words she says to her aunt always come back to her later. One time she told her aunt the words, "No more talk, I wish to eat in peace." The next thing she knew, another woman was already saying the exact same thing to her. The woman was aware of these laws. She was living in such high levels of consciousness, so it was natural that she also felt her karma faster. Knowledge comes with responsibility. The more you know, the more you are expected to use it too. This chapter also talks about how we can only achieve what you imagine yourself reaching. Meaning, if you can see yourself living in abundance, you will also expect blessings causing you to attract it more. We first envision things, whether it's failure or success, in our minds before it even manifests in our own realities. But does this mean people who always thought negatively are bound to experience unwanted situations more? Well, it can be possible. However, God has given us the freedom from those things, and it is through the knowledge of the spiritual law. As Jesus said, "And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free." The 5th chapter also talks about how obedience precedes authority, and the law obeys man when he obeys the law. This is important because it also teaches us to handle the laws we learn about wisely, or it can work in ways we do not want. Instead of bringing us success, it can lead us to our despair. The same thing happened to another woman in this chapter. She liked how the house of an acquaintance looked, so she grew a desire to have it. Each day she would imagine herself living in that exact same house. After a while, her friend died, making it possible for her to acquire the house. After some reflection, she came to her senses and realized that she may have played a part in the death of her friend. Things could have been different if she only asked for the right house, even not the exact one, but something similar or as beautiful as it. However, Florence Scovel said that the woman has already experienced karma since her husband died soon after. Her life is a living proof that not every desire we have can lead to good things, because some of them are not according to our divine pattern. The game of life also believes that the divine pattern is the only safe pattern to work by. Desire is a strong force that needs to be in the right channel or direction to avoid chaos. But how do we do it? First, we must learn how to ask the right thing. Our demands should always be according to our divine right. Always remember that anything forced is considered ill-gotten. The woman would have experienced different things if only she asked, "If this house I desire is mine, I cannot lose it. If it is not, give me its equivalent." Besides, man always gets just what he desires when he relinquishes personal will. This chapter also talks about the law, or stand ye still and see the salvation of the Lord, which is specifically shown in the lives of one woman and daughter. This woman was so anxious and worried that her daughter might get harmed on the trip she was scheduled to go on. Florence Scovel calmed her by saying that she's no longer trusting the Lord and even putting her daughter in unwanted situations by expecting bad things. Then they prayed that God may bless the trip if it's in the divine plan, but if it's not, they're thankful it's already dissolved and dissipated. After a while, her daughter changed her mind and decided not to go. This teaches both the readers and even the mother in the story to stand still and believe nothing bad is going to happen, something very difficult to do for man. Now, let's go back to the concept of sowing and reaping. The game we are playing does not recognize any joke. Therefore, even those things you have jokingly said can come back to you. But that's not the end for us. We can always call on forgiveness to neutralize the situation. Since Christianity is based on the law of forgiveness and Jesus has already redeemed us from the curse of the karmic law, we are given the chance to undo or balance out what we have done. Knowing about this law also allows us to rub out our mistakes. After that, the book goes saying, if he desires riches, he must be rich first in consciousness. We can never be rich if our mindset stays poor. Changing the way we think causes us to be watchful of the external and expect prosperity, especially when we know God is our supply. However, many people are now aware of these things as investments. First, you need to demonstrate your faith in ways that make sense to you. If you are called to buy something as a sign of belief, do so. Do not settle in the fear of lack. Besides, hoarding and saving invariably leads to loss. If man ignores these leads to spend or to give, the same amount of money will go in an uninteresting or unhappy way. The law always stands back of the man who spends fearlessly with wisdom. After all, our supply is almost endless only if we fully trust that every action is followed by a successful manifestation. Once we start learning that not giving also means seeking lack, we can now make changes within ourselves and welcome in new blessings. That's it for the 5th chapter. Always remember that your thoughts have the power to change your life. Till next time, thank you for watching.